All right, weekend sports betting tips, talking some college football playoffs and wild card weekend NFL right here on the Barroom Network. Got Mr. Sean Higgs and Anthony Inglese from Pounded Sports. We might as well jump into Penn State Notre Dame because that game's about to kick off in about a half hour. Notre Dame is a 1-point favorite. This is the Sugar Bowl.
Orange
Bowl. Notre Dame at Penn State. Penn State had a nice win last week. Notre Dame also. Notre Dame, a 23-10 win over Georgia. And Penn State walloped Boise State 31-14. We'll start with Mr. Sean Higgs. Both teams have tremendous defenses. Both quarterbacks, pretty good quarterbacks. Both have good tight ends. Both have good run games. And the spread reflects this. They're pretty equally matched. Coaching advantage maybe goes to, I don't know. I mean, people are down on James Franklin. He's beaten up teams this year.
He always beats up teams.
Yep.
He can't beat a good team. And that's is SMU and Boise, they're not Oregon and Ohio State or Michigan.
Yep.
They're okay. I mean, that's like them beating Wisconsin. But Notre Dame's also, I mean, they got a newer coach. He's been there, a couple of years now, right?
Yep.
2 years, 3 years.
Yep.
But this is a team that historically in the playoffs gets rolled by Alabama and Clemson's and teams. So, and you're going to face a similar type of talent-wise. But I'm with you on the under. I got a 47. It's come down here. Why this is going to be an ugly game. Notre Dame didn't do anything versus the Georgia defense.
Yep.
Penn State's got a decent defense. Notre Dame defense all year has been pretty good. I mean, both of these teams gave up points to USC. All right, so be it. It was a road game. You know how teams are on the road for college football and college basketball. It's what it is. Although, I lean Notre Dame. I got the future on them. I'm like. Again, it comes down to Franklin. Can he beat a good team? It's a pick 'em. I'll roll with the Irish here. Maybe the old luck of the Irish here. Although money wise, again, I got the future, but we're looking at the under. I like the under more.
Under 45. Anthony, thoughts?
I'm also on Notre Dame. I placed all my bets for the football games this weekend, this past Monday, and I had Notre Dame at -2. I don't care. -1, -2. I'm all over Notre Dame. Penn State. Like Sean said, they played SMU, they played Boise. I mean, it's not your real cream of the crop type teams. They could, Notre Dame. They played Georgia, and I was impressed on what they had to do with versus Georgia. Even versus that backup quarterback, they knew how to bring the pressure. They knew not when to bring the pressure. I mean, it was impressed. I was impressed. And Penn State, they let Boise State get back into that game. They just kept chipping away Boise, and obviously Penn State pulled away eventually, but there was a time where Boise was chipping away and getting back in that game. You can't let this Notre Dame team get back in this game. I think Riley Leonard, his arm, but more importantly, his mobility is what's going to really hurt Penn State in this game. And if you have watched any tape on Penn State versus mobile quarterbacks, they struggled. So I think Notre Dame here is at the end of the day, Notre Dame takes the crown.
Yeah, you wonder if the Nittany Lions star pass rusher Abdul Carter, arguably one of the top picks in this coming draft, is dealing with an arm injury. And I mean, Penn State with that great pass rush and good pass defense, I wonder how much exactly Riley Leonard's going to be able to do. It is going to be with his legs. So you got to think, I love the rushing attempts or yards over for Riley Leonard. I think he's going to be maybe even an anytime touchdown with the injury to the running back Jeremiah Love. So maybe they run Riley Leonard on the goal line. But you look back, look at versus look at what Notre Dame's defense did to Curtis Rourke in Indiana. Man, Rourke went through for like 91 yards. That's it. That's all. Mm-hmm. And Indiana beat some pretty good teams. I'm trying to see if the
only bad thing with Indiana, their problem with Indiana is their offensive line. They had zero offensive line. Yeah. Once they played a real team, their offensive line came to reality. And that's how that's how they got exposed later in the year. And Notre Dame's got a solid offensive line. Penn State has a solid offensive line. These two teams have solid offensive lines.
And that's the thing with Indiana. Like I said, this is like you're kind of stepping up, and you could beat similar teams. Well, here's the talent differential when you have Penn State teams that send teams to the NFL. Notre Dame's good, but they always seem to lack that kind of athletic, or depth, whatever the case may be. They always seem to be a little short now with the way they are for whatever reason. Maybe it'll change now with no money and paying guys, and maybe a little different. This is a good litmus test for both these teams because both of these guys are – Penn State with the easier path, but both these guys have to be looking like, wow, I can't believe we're going into the national championship this year. Like, if you're telling me that either of these teams were playing in a national championship game, you'd be like, get the hell out of here.
That's true.
I mean, really.
True.
Hi, if somebody told you two teams from the Big Ten are playing national championship game, you'd be like, get out of here. That ain't happening.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to see Penn State in there because the result's going to be.
Oh, Ohio State's going to truck them.
I mean, it's just going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout.
Yep. All right. Well, you guys are both like Notre Dame and the under here. So game kicks off in about 25 minutes. Ohio State at Texas. Game is in Texas in Dallas. So about 2.5 hours from Longhorns Stadium. Ohio State sure looked good last week, though. They are 6-point favorites in this game with a total of 53. Total thoughts on the total? I think they can reach this. Both teams are pretty talented, but both teams have really good offenses. It's hard to say, man. I mean, Ohio State hung 41 on Oregon.
But Oregon's defense really,
not as good as
second half of the season.
Right.
Texas has a solid defense. Oregon's second half of the season, their defense was not good.
At Texas,
and they played man to man. I mean, they did not make any adjustments. They played man to man. I mean, I'd be surprised if Texas plays man to man now, but I think this is a closer game. But I do think at the end of the day, Ohio State takes this game.
Texas gave up 31 points to Arizona State last week, Sean. Thoughts on total or side?
Yeah, so let's look at this for a second. Before the playoffs started, this line was like 1.5 to Ohio State.
Yep.
You get two Ohio State blowouts, right? They were up 14-0 on Tennessee or 21-0 on either way on whoever. Last week on Oregon, they went up, I think it was 34-0 at one point. But
it was
first quarter, they trucked on these guys right out of the gate. That's what you remember, and that's why the line goes from a look ahead of 1.5 to a opener of 4 to a 6. And like you said, Tooch, this game is in Dallas. This is a 2-hour ride for Texas fans. And
the line tells you everything, right?
Texas. Where do we see get Texas? I saw them get manhandled against Georgia twice. I saw Arizona break through against them. Arizona State break through against them in the second half. Why? Who's their running back there? Travion Henderson, Ohio State. Yeah, like
Henderson and Quinshawn Judkins. Henderson's the more explosive of the two.
I would do like a rushing receiving prop total on this. Like, I think he's gonna, because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna just come out and flare and just spread it and let's go. I think this is I know people want to take time. I think this is it might be square. I think it's not even close. Ohio State's playing.
They're playing great
peak ball right now.
Yep.
You struggled in the second half versus Arizona State. Clemson scored 24 against you. You lost to Georgia before that. I mean, this is a good defense? How is this a good defense?
Today?
First half. In the first half, they play good defense. In the second half, that's when they fold.
So we're looking at first half under?
I got Ohio State a first half -3, and their team total, I think they're going to come out. I don't see Texas stopping them. I mean, you could – even
They are
against
playing
Georgia,
they're
second
in
game.
great form.
Let's be honest. Georgia, the quarterback, went from being a top 5 pick to probably a 7th rounder this year.
No, he's
He
not
threw
even.
2 picks in, right? I mean,
Carson Beck is on the transfer portal. He got
he's
out
going to
of
Miami, I think. Miami, Florida's going to take him.
Miami or North Carolina.
Quinn
Belichick might be going back to the Raiders or the Bears. I mean, what are we doing?
No, he's not going yet. He's already shot down any NFL talk.
Today there was a story about Quinn Ewers entering the transfer portal. Is he playing on Saturday?
Yeah, he's playing. He's
playing. starting because next year Arch Manning is going to be the starter.
He's playing
for Texas.
I'd be surprised if Quinn Ewers even goes to the draft. I think he goes to the transfer.
No, he's entering. He's not going into the draft. Why would he?
Transfer.
You can make more money in
that's what I'm saying.
NIL in college. Portal. Yeah, he's hitting the transfer portal.
Get out of Texas. I'm not sold on the kid. I don't. Texas offense is not that good. Yeah,
he's starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're not changing their quarterback in the semifinals. No. The guys he started 1 game all year, Arch Manning.
Exactly.
Okay. So it'll be yours and thoughts on the total at 53, fellas.
I would lean under.
Yeah, I don't know if Texas is scoring. Ewers
and that Ohio State defense is really good. It's so underrated.
It's a real defense. They could. I mean, I get it. It's Big Ten. You see some of these ugly games when they play close ones. Oregon, Texas is not the Oregon offense.
No. Well, Texas is in the SEC team. They're really not an SEC team yet.
They're not
right?
an SEC.
It's their first year in the SEC.
What'd they do? They got manhandled by the best team they played twice.
Right.
They lost.
You get 2 interceptions at home and lose by double digits. Yeah. You're not ready for the SEC. You had a cupcake side of the SEC.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you're playing LSU and Arkansas and you beat A&M, which is again A&M has more money than Texas and they can't find quarterbacks. It's ridiculous. I don't know what that I like Elko though. I'll give him. I think that team's going to be good. He'll make it work. I mean, hello, he's got Lincoln Riley at Duke, and this guy's playing in a possible national championship game on Monday night or whatever the game is.
I mean, they gave up 31 points to Arizona State, 24 to Clemson. I mean, Ohio State's going to hang 31 minimum on Texas.
But is Texas scoring
minimum
20?
31? Are they? Yeah.
20?
Is Texas scoring 20? They need to score.
I think Texas scores a lot of field goals. I think they're going to get 1 touchdown and a lot of field goals. I just don't see Texas scoring. I just don't. That Texas offense, I said at the beginning of the playoffs, their offense is not very good.
Yeah. In order to get off over this number, you're looking at 8 touchdowns. Or seven touchdowns and a bunch of field goals.
Ohio State plays they have a lot of trick plays, and that's what gives them a huge advantage.
Yeah.
So trick plays in the semis, huh? That's what we're going with.
Over or under, Sean?
I lean under, believe it or not. I mean, I like Ohio State to put up points, but on the same token, I could see them easing back when it's 34-0, like it was in the first quarter or second quarter there against against Oregon, right? I mean.
No. You're looking at 7 or 8 touchdowns in this game to get over this number. So, leaning under. I mean, with Ohio State's defense, I can't see an over, but
it's one of those spots like it's like the quote unquote square public kind of play taken on. Ohio State, out of the teams that are playing here, who's looked better? Nobody's looked better than these guys.
Yep.
You crushed Tennessee and you crushed Oregon, who was undefeated, number 1 team the entire year.
Yep.
Who Texas? Texas edged a Clemson team who people thought shouldn't even been there. Then they gave up 31 points in the second half to Arizona State, who was picked for last in their conference.
Yep.
Penn State had 100 yards offense versus SMU because they got a couple pick sixes, right? I mean, where are we going with these teams? And Notre Dame didn't do anything offensively versus Georgia. Yep. This is Ohio State's to lose.
Yep.
I mean, really, it's
whether they cover the 6 or not, it's their game to lose. Whether they cover.
What are the odds on the Ohio State national championship right now? It's going to be minus 300, minus 200.
They're favored.
Minus 200?
No, not that much.
Minus 150?
It's probably even money, right?
No, they're minus money.
You got to be
minus. Are they minus?
Minus 200.
Minus 200.
Wow.
What did I say? minus 200.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, who are you taking? I mean, I got the 10-1 on Notre Dame. They're 3-1 now.
I wonder what
Penn
Ohio
State-
State was beginning of the season to win the national championship. You know
what?
probably like plus 200.
Maybe 5-1, 6-1.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I think it was
I
like
got rid of them. I had all of my stuff from the.
It had
West
to be
State.
between 4 to 6-1. It had to be because they were ranked one of the top teams in beginning.
I had all of my
I think
my
Georgia
win
was
total
the
stuff I
favorite.
saved, and I just threw them
Georgia
all out.
was the
And that's
number
what I'm
one.
doing.
Georgia was the number 1 ranked team to start the season.
Best bet in this game: Ohio State minus 6 or minus 3 first half.
I like the first half. I think they're going to come out again. You want to make the statement early. If they're going to win by 6, it should be early. You get it done early. That's the way I look at it. I know the people like, adjustments, nerves. I don't think so, man. I think they've played bridesmaid to the bride enough where they got to come out here again. Like I said, who's playing better than them this playoffs? Nobody. Put the teams together. Nobody's playing as good as them. What are you going to say? I say Arizona State.
Great
Their
form.
second. Who's the team that's played good? Arizona State. Their second half was as good as you've seen Ohio State is. Right? No one else come close to it.
Yep. All right, you heard it here. Ohio State minus 6, minus 3 first half. Both the guys on it and under 53. Looks like the top plays here. Moving over towards wild card weekend. It's exciting playoffs. There's some great matchups this weekend. Chargers heading over to Texas. They're escaping the LA Fires. They head over to Sean's neck of the woods there as a 3-point favorite, man, over under 42.5. I kind of like the under here, man. I'm like this. The Texans have been an under team all season. The Chargers only recently have they started putting up points, So I kind of like the under in this game. But as far as the side, man, the Texans have been so disappointing. If you look at quarterback advantage, it's the Chargers.
Do you know why?
Head coaching advantage. Yeah, they're
Do you know why they've been so disappointing? Number one,
defense.
Last year, C.J. Stroud relied 60% of his throws were deep throws. Okay, he relied on the deep ball. This year, he's only connecting around 20% of his deep throws. Yeah. And his offensive line has worsened
decimated
from last year to this year. That's why his numbers are not so sexy.
And they've been banged up all over both sides.
Well, the O-line is number 1.
Yeah,
but like you said, and even you were talking about this, we said at the beginning of the year when we were talking about this in August during football, and even last year when we did the show. He's a guy who just chucks it downfield, and it was like, look at this, big plays.
Yeah. Nico Collins, throw it up. Tank Dell, throw it up.
Big chunk plays, and it makes you look a lot better than you are.
And neither Stephon Diggs or Tank Dell is in this game. Now, if you're looking at advantages, I mean, the coaching advantage I would give to the Chargers this season. The quarterback advantage I'd give to Harbaugh. Herbert. And you look at the pass rush.
Kicker. Hold on. I'm not trying to break you up. The Texans kicker misses one extra point every game. It seems. Every game he misses about one extra point or a field goal, whatever.
He's terrible.
Every game he misses at least one field goal. I mean, it's a clusterfuck.
Now you're telling me. I know they have Laramie Tunsil back, the Texans, but you're talking Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack rushing the passer against that Texans offensive line. I lean Texans. I lean Chargers, but because I just don't trust the Texans. What do you think, Anthony? You like the Texans or Chargers?
I'm all over that. I got my bet on the Texans, Chargers
on the Chargers -3. Sean,
I can't.
I can't lay the Chargers on the road. Who are they beating?
That's the thing. Yep.
Harbaugh is great. I mean, we were saying about how last year Stroud was just chucking it up and catching passes, or guys bringing them. How about without Ladd McConkey? What does this team have? Gus Edwards is hurt.
J.K. Dobbins,
the running back. Dobbins is banged up. Yep. And your favorite on the road. Who did you beat this year? Look at you beat Cincinnati at home in a wild one, and you beat Denver twice, who has a rookie quarterback.
Look at their last 4 games on the road, though. So last 4 games, they at Las Vegas a 15-point or 14-point win, at New England a 33-point win, at Kansas City a 2-point loss, and at Atlanta a 4-point win.
That's great. So you bring up the Raiders who just fired their head
It
coach.
sucked.
The
New
Patriots who
England
just fired their head coach. Green Bay, who you're going to kind of play in a dogfight because Green Bay plays down to their teams every time. And who was the fourth one?
The Chiefs at Arrowhead, they lost by 2, and the Falcons, it was a 4-point victory on the road. But yeah, Falcons, Raiders, and Patriots aren't exactly top tier. You know,
you beat the Raiders who fired their coach, the Patriots who fired the coach. You beat Denver. That's your win because you beat Denver twice this year. Rookie quarterback.
Yep.
You lost at Tampa. Actually, you lost at home. Tampa put 40 on you at home. The Chiefs, you lose by 2 in a game that the Chiefs, I think, were up like 16-0, and then you got back into it on 2 plays in the fourth quarter to make it a game. Yep. You beat the Falcons by 4 at home, and the Falcons are no great shakes.
Yep. Terrible defense.
I mean, the Baltimore game wasn't close. You got up what, 7-0, 10-0, and then it was a rout. Cincinnati, that was a crazy game you won. Tennessee, you're happy about beating Tennessee? I mean, like, this is not a team that should be favored. I don't care how bad and banged up the Texans are.
Yep. This
is the Texans. And also, on the personal side of it, dude, these guys are leaving their house today. Not
knowing.
Leaving their wife. They're like, what the hell?
Not knowing if their house is going to burn down.
Like, that's like the crazy part. Like, It just seems like it's never ending. And just people at this point, it looks like just people are just starting fires in people's backyards. They're like, hey, let's just burn the whole city to the ground. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's a whole another show.
It looks like it got bombed. That's what and when you look at pictures, it looks like the city got bombed.
Yes.
It's so bad.
This feels like everybody's on the Chargers and the Texans come out with a victory.
I mean, I get it. You get on the field, let's all rally around each other. How the heck are you rounding around when your kids are in LA and wherever they live out in the outskirts and you got to worry about like these guys? I mean, they probably left already. They leaving today. I mean, the game's Saturday, right? I mean, when are they flying out? Because all they're doing, I mean, I'm not coming to practice today. Why are we doing? I don't know. I rented a U-Haul truck to empty out my personal house. Belongings and drove to Arizona with my family. I told them to go get a hotel room. Like, how are they? That was their mindset. And again, that's the flip side because they could be like, you know what, we're doing this for LA. Let's rally. I get that, but on the same thing is,
there's too many factors here to
take -3.
You still like the under?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the Texans play again. This is going to come to an over when I say like 24, 23 games, but that's again they're always in some kind of close game.
Yeah.
And the Chargers will no problem. First half Chargers, right? Remember at one point they hadn't give up 20 points in like the first 7-8 games, or they gave up. Somebody scored 30. Let me bust it up real fast. But to start the year, 10, 3, 20, 17, 16, 17, 8, 10, 17. They didn't allow more than that until Cincinnati came to town on November 17th.
At home versus the Ravens, they put up 2 points.
Oh, well, Houston, yeah. No, I was talking about the Chargers defense.
Right, no, okay. Yep.
Chargers. Yeah, that was a game, right? Everybody loved Houston that day, right? There was a lot of Houston love on that day. Oh, it's Christmas. Yeah.
Killed.
Lamar's not good. Okay.
All right. You heard it here. Anthony likes the Chargers. Sean leans Texans, unsure, but everybody likes the under here, 42.5.
Yeah.
Steelers +10 at. I mean, I cannot back a team that's coming in on a 4-game losing streak. At all, I mean, these two teams know each other. They split the season series, but man, Pittsburgh is coming in. They're on a 4. No team has ever won wild card weekend. Their game coming off a 4-game losing streak. Anthony,
it's Ravens. I got Ravens -9.5 last Monday. That's all I'm going to say. It's Ravens.
Sean, Mike Tomlin as the dog.
Way too many problems in Pittsburgh. It is.
I get the whole Tomlin as a dog is 10 points.
Yep.
How do you? And I thought last week was the game. I was like, Pittsburgh, this is the game they should win, right? You're home, a little kind of a dog versus Cincinnati. You don't want to go to playoffs losing 4 in a row. Get your mojo back. Cincinnati let you hang around that game. I mean, that shouldn't have been a 19-17 game. That should have been a 29 to 13 game. I mean, Cincinnati couldn't get it in the end zone on you.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you? All right, you're getting 10 points. And this is really kind of the spot where it's like if Lamar and the Ravens are for real, and I hate saying that because they're always in the playoffs and he's got great numbers. And Can you have a dominant performance at home? Can you say last year when I was on you and you the Bills the week before ran left and right and pummeled the Chiefs running the ball? You decide after a quarter never to run the ball again during the game
right.
and say, watch, you pulled the Ohio State against Michigan. Like, oh, you think we're going to run the ball? No, we're going to throw it 47 times and lose the game. No. You come out here. This is a rival. You put them into the ground. I mean, you played around with Cleveland the week before, right? And we're going, fourth down, let's go for it. We missed it. Fourth down, go for it. We couldn't get it done. Nah, here, 10 for the game, sure. First half is 6. I like the first half. I think the Ravens, again, they have that, I don't want to say bad taste in their mouths from playoffs loss, but if it's time. It's time you have a dominant performance, please, if this is real. And I'm going to say the same thing about, like, Josh Allen. Can you come out and have a dominant – I know you've won before, but come out and just be as good as you're supposed to be.
Yep.
Sean? 4 straight losses. Come on with this.
To me, last week, Pittsburgh's a mess. You got to go with the Bengals, and
so
this is a horrible spot for the Steelers. If they would have played the Texans or the Chargers, it's a different ball game. But they're playing the Ravens in Baltimore. This is the worst possible spot they can play.
The Ravens get to 30 points, no?
Yeah.
Yes. With that defense, the Steelers
defense don't have a good defense.
Nope. They don't play defense this year.
Mike Tomlin is still trying to win games like 17-20. It's 2017, 17-14.
All they're doing is running the ball with Najee Harris. They didn't even play. I had Jalen Warren over 19.5 receiving yards last week. He didn't even get a catch. He didn't even get a target. I think he ran the ball 3 or 4 times for the entire game, even with Najee hurt.
I'm looking at the over in this game.
Yeah.
43.5 is low.
Here's the thing with this.
If the Ravens are going to put up 31 at minimum, all I need is 13 from the Steelers.
Tooch, 43. I mean, even you do some crazy 10-point teaser with a bunch of teams in it, you bump this up to 50 or whatever. My concern is, do the Ravens put 44 up? Do they put 47 up? This game could be 47-10.
Yep.
As much as it could be 34-0 or 34-10. You know what I'm saying? Like the Raven offense could come in and be like, watch this, and they got 31 at the half. And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yep. And then it's like, well, they're just going to run the ball. Then you're in a spot where I just need 10 points for the over. And
I imagine the Ravens team total is going to be something like 30.
I'll get it.
It's 26.5, I think it is.
Give me the Ravens team total over 26.
I think.
That's got to be.
I think
that's about right. Yep. It's an implied score of 27-17. Give me the Ravens team total over 26.5. It's probably 27-17.
And also with this team, I think people forget. Remember, like, Pittsburgh started like so good, like, oh my goodness, you don't want to go through Pittsburgh for home field. Yeah. And then it's like, did you see the second half of the schedule when they got to play their entire division and Kansas City and the Niners and the Eagles or whoever they had to play? Like, yeah, sure. They're going to be 10-1 after that too.
Let's see what that team total is. You going to get a number on that?
I'm pulling up Bet Online right now. What did you guys think it was at? 26?
26.5.
I thought I saw that earlier.
I think they get to 27, no problem. It's like
3 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
Last game was 34-17 at home in Baltimore. What's the stop?
28.5.
28.5. Wow.
And it's plus 135.
Okay.
So that's not the real line then. So the real line's 26.5, 27.5.
26.5 minus 118.
Bet Online's going to juice it up a little bit.
Yep.
They have the under at minus 165. So
under 43.5 minus 165.
No, under 28.5. Under 28.
Oh, 28.5. Okay. Yeah.
I'd still take the over.
So would I.
But 26.5, 27.5.
The only thing that could slow anything that could derail a total like this would be both teams running the ball a shit ton.
Well, Steelers are going to run the ball.
Running.
That's all they do. That's all they can do. Just so their defense isn't on the field.
Clock will keep running and running and
but
running.
The Ravens got the number 1 rush defense. So
all right. So side, you guys like Ravens -10 and Ravens first half -6. 3 of us kind of like the over 43.5, right, Sean?
Yes. Yeah, I'd lean over here.
Lean over.
So
over 26.5.
The DraftKings is again 26.5 -118. 27 will get you plus 114, not 27.5. So if you didn't get 28, plus 114, so get money. Again, how are people thinking this Steeler team plays defense? They do not play defense anymore. This is not a done.
No.
They gave up 19. It could have been 34 against Cincinnati. 29 at KC.
Yeah, Cincinnati went for it up fourth down a bunch of times and did not convert because I know I had the over in that
27 to Philadelphia. Then they had the 27-14 game versus Cleveland with a backup quarterback, or the third, actually not a backup, like a backup to the backup. 38 points to Cincinnati. Then they lost to Cleveland 24-19.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore game was 18-16. Baltimore missed 2 field goals and a 2-point conversion. They would have been into the 20s. 27 to Washington out of a bye week.
Yep, coming off the bye.
27 points allowed.
Yep.
18 to the Giants. Have you seen the Giants play lately, folks?
Giants go
to the Giants.
Baltimore's one of the top, if not the best offense in the NFL, man.
We're going to slow down this team. 35-31, 34-35. There's the Philly loss, 24-19. 30, 18-16, 35-41, 24. Yeah, they're going to be held in check.
Yep. Yeah, Philly is a great defense. I mean, that's expected. They've hung over 31 on all the last 4 games, whoever they played.
They had Philly at home off back-to-back road games. You had the Pittsburgh game, a tough one. Then you had the short week because you played Chargers on a Monday night and you rolled them, and you got a short week against Philly in a in-state rivalry, and you still lost a close one. Come on, man, this won't be close.
All right, you heard it here, fellas. Let's go. Little Broncos on the road, getting 8.5 at the Bills, -8.5. Look, Broncos have a pretty good defense. Sean Payton, pretty good coach. He's going to have some tricks up his sleeves, but man, I cannot trust a rookie quarterback on the road. 8.5 is a lot of points, Anthony. And they rested Josh Allen last week. He's got a little bit of an elbow injury too, by all accounts. He full participation in practice. Lean Bills here, but man, I can't take 8.5. It's playoff football.
I locked in the Broncos +9 on Monday. Okay. I think they got a defense.
Yep.
I think they could slow down somewhat the Bills, and the Bills defense, they will give up their share of points.
They give up some points. Yep.
9 is a lot of points. I know it's a rookie quarterback, but he's mobile. He makes plays, and at the end of the day, maybe I can get a backdoor cover. I think the Bills win. I just don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone thinks it is.
Bo Nix has played a lot of football in his lifetime. Sean, 8.5 is a pretty tall number.
Yeah, if I'm getting behind this one, it would have to be like tease it down, right? You have to go
tease the Bills to 2.5.
Bills, Ravens, tease them down to like 2, something respectable. It's a big number, and rookie quarterbacks, what are they? 14-27 straight up. In playoffs, it's not easy to win.
Yep.
Weather shouldn't be a problem here, right? So you think Buffalo should be able to come out, and that's what I said about the Ravens. If you're that good, Buffalo, right? And it's like, they're no digs, they're going to be a bad team. Well, they spread it around. Allen doesn't, make stupid mistakes. He's having a great year as well. I kind of want to lean again. If it's the point spreads really don't come into play most of the time, they say, right? It's either the dog's going to be right there and it'll be a 3-point game, or it's Buffalo by 16. It's not close. It's 10-0. It's 10-7. It's 17-7, and then it's the next thing you know, it's 31-21 or something. You're like, what happened in this game here? I don't know. I prefer the over.
So Russell Wilson was the quarterback last year when these two teams played, and it was in Buffalo. It was a 24-22 Broncos win. But I look at the supporting cast around Bo Nix. I don't really like the offensive weapons. They don't have a good running game. They don't have a good tight end. They have some decent weapons at wide receiver, and
he's locked into that dude Mims over there. Mims is his guy.
Cortland Sutton, and they have Javonte Williams, who's with 3 yards a carry. He's basically Najee Harris. And then you look on the Bills side, and you get arguably the MVP of the NFL between him or Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. And then you got James Cook, really talented runner, both running and receiving. You got Dalton Kincaid, who's back for this game at tight end. Great weapon, great hands. And then you've got Amari Cooper and Khalil Shakir. I look, like Anthony said, though, one defense is better than the others. That's the Broncos. But that defense is on the road. It's a tough game for me to play any side. What do you think about the total? I think Denver should be able to put up some points on the Bills, and the Bills will definitely put up some points in this one. Maybe an over 47.5.
I got no opinion on the total.
And that number sharp.
I think it's an over. I mean, these guys both. Yep. Denver 11-6 to the over, 11-5 for Buffalo to the total.
Yep, 11. Yeah, both teams over teams.
I mean, forget about 38-0 last week.
Yeah.
24-27, 31-41, 29-38. They put up points. Buffalo's going to score.
Yep.
I know. Excuse me. Denver's going to score, I should say, and then Buffalo. I mean, last week they took a week off before that. 40, 24, 48, 42, 35, 30, 30, 30, 31.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on.
Putting up points. Denver could put up some points.
This is another one like the Chargers. Like Denver, who are Denver's big? I mean, 38-0. And I like Casey last week. I figured out he's going to be 10 points with the team.
Yeah, with the Chiefs.
Maybe they'll show up. I'll take a shot.
I didn't realize that KC literally benched the entire team. I mean, literally. They didn't play one damn receiver.
I thought I was going to get a half of play from Kansas City.
Yeah. Did you see the receivers? They were practice squad guys. Yeah, practice squad guys playing receiver.
Yep.
You
haven't played any of the receivers.
They haven't played well all year, right? We could admit that. I mean, we could say that out there. You think I'd get a half before you take 2 weeks off, a week off?
Yeah.
I mean, at least play some of the third string receiver, the fourth string receiver. I mean, why is Hopkins not playing? The dude barely plays as it is. Why is he not playing? I mean, their number one receiver is the guy off a practice squad. I mean, seriously. And you expect to go out? I mean, you just why even show up? Why even show up? Seriously.
By the time the Chiefs play their next game, they'll have been off 3-4 weeks, right, Sean?
Yeah, they're going to be rusty, and then we're going to be talking about.
Maybe we'll be looking at a first quarter, taking the whatever team, whoever they play, taking the.
They're playing Houston or the Chargers. Think about that. They play next week. We're going to have Baltimore at Buffalo.
Oof. It's going to be sexy.
That should be the championship game. And
that line, the total's going to be like 56.5 for that game.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be
so. Like Denver, I pulled up their schedule. All right, they won at Tampa Bay. Where's their wins? Who'd they win? Who'd they beat as a playoff team besides Tampa? Nobody. I mean, I don't count the Kansas City 38-0 win.
No,
because when Kansas City played them when they were banged up, Kansas City beat them.
They've lost to every playoff team. Denver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they beat Tampa, but
that was a huge upset. That game, remember that?
Yeah, I had Tampa. I said, you know what? Because I had Denver the first 2 weeks, and I said, rookie quarterback on the road, forget about it. And then they won and won both back to back. They beat Tampa, the Jets, and then they beat Vegas at home. I'm like, no way they went home after winning 2 on the road, and they did.
Yep.
And then, like a fool, I had them against the Chargers. Like, Chargers laying on the road? What is that about? Who they beat? Yeah, they beat Denver twice this year. Again, nice season for Denver, but you look at the record, maybe it's more scheduling, and lucking into a good schedule.
I like the over. Give me over 47.5 in this game. Any thoughts on the side before we get out? You guys like the on to the next game? You guys like
on to the next game?
Broncos, Sean, plus 8.5 for Bills.
You already asked us.
I know, I'm just summarizing.
That's the first question. He liked the Broncos, and I'm like, I think the Bills. I think the Bills need to make a statement. So I'm, at least win the first half. I don't have anything on the side. The side.
All of us like the over. All right. Packers plus 5, Eagles minus 5. Big question is Jalen Hurts. Health of Jalen Hurts. Kenny Pickett is injured. It would be Tanner McKee if Jalen Hurts can't go.
I'll take Tanner McKee over
Hurts over Jordan Love.
So Jordan Love's thumb is, I'm going to say, sprained. Has anyone ever tried throwing a football with a sprained thumb or anything with injured thumb? It hurts. Yep. It hurts. So,
and then after that's Malik Willis, right? Who's terrible.
Malik Willis, I mean, he's not terrible, but he's with the game on the line. They rely too much on the run game with Malik Willis.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'll take Tanner McKee versus Jordan Love. I'll take.
You want to talk about a team that has a good run defense? I'll talk to you all about the Eagles.
Has anyone know anything about Tanner McKee? Dude's what, 6'6", right, Tooch? 6'6", 230 pounds. The dude's a monster.
Yep.
And he has a strong arm, accurate arm. I mean, I'm not going to say he's mobile, but he can get out of the pocket and throw a good pass.
Yep. Number one defense in the NFL, Sean, is the Eagles. 278.4 yards of offense, only in 4.9 yards per play. Their rush offense, number 9 in the NFL. Green Bay loves to run the ball. They're 5th running the ball in the NFL. Jalen Hurts coming off that concussion. If he plays, if he's playing, and they're undefeated when AJ Brown starts a game this season. Man.
It's just simple, too. Let's look at it this way.
Keep it simple. Yep.
Don't dive into, well, this guy plays, they're undefeated. Yeah, they don't play when they're undefeated because, their coordinators, new offensive coordinator, new defense coordinator, they decided not to put everything on Hurts' shoulder. They brought in Barkley. Yep. It's a balanced attack.
Yep.
They gelled as the season progressed under 2 new coordinators.
Yep.
That's why they're really good. Hurts is 100%. This was a 3.5 at open. It's at 5 because he's good to go. Okay. Christian Watson is out for the Packers again, but who does Love? Love, it's a crapshoot who's his favorite guy is in receiver. At first it was Reed, then it was Watson, then it was the other guy. Yeah, but he just falls in love with one guy all the time in a game. So, and let's riddle me this one, Batman. Who did Green Bay beat? They lost to these guys opening day, and then they lost
to the Bears,
Mexico City.
But that's at the end of the year. I mean, is that really a big to do there? I mean, where were they going that's a no-brainer. They lost to Minnesota twice and the Lions twice.
Yep.
You didn't beat it. And now all I'm hearing is like, well, they were in the same spot last year and crushed Dallas. Yeah,
they were a blocked field goal away from going 0-6 in the division, the Packers.
Yeah.
A blocked field goal away in the first game versus the Bears. Otherwise, they'd be 0-6.
Last year, I was a Packer lover. I said it, right? I was all over the Pack last year. This year, nope, another team. Who have you beat? You beat a bunch of
Packers
-5 all day.
Packers are limping into this game. As of last year, they were fully healthy. Yep. They had some momentum going into the year.
They couldn't pass the ball against the Bears.
That's exactly. They're again. That was a spot that he's been.
How are you going
to? I think he's been banged up since that Colts game. He was not 100%. Reed.
Yeah, I mean, if me and Tooch talk about it all the time, it's really crazy how the Packers just find their way to be wide open versus the Bears. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, how are you 10 yards away from every receiver?
Yep.
I mean, and they couldn't do that. I mean, this is a bad.
They're in bad form right now. Yeah, bad form. Yep.
Absolutely.
Eagles
-5.
The
Bears calling them at the right time. Eagles might be injured at quarterback, but they got depth. Their pass defense is solid. Their run defense is solid.
Yep.
They still got AJ Brown. They still got Saquon Barkley.
Again, 5 is the dead number. If go to the under. Go to the under. 25, 20 something here. 23, 16.
Yeah.
Yep. The Eagles are going to run the ball. They're number 2 rushing offense. Packers are decent against the run as well. But I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of the Packers. Exactly.
Barkley had 2,000 yards rushing. They will lean on him. We don't want Hurts getting drilled in the backfield and taking a shot. They're not going to be. This will be a conservative attack, short passes, slant routes, and run the ball.
Yep, Eagles -5 and the under. Next game is Commanders Buccaneers. I like the Buccaneers. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'll take Baker Mayfield against Jaden Daniels. I just think Buccaneers have been playing. They get it, however the game is going. The Buccaneers have been getting it done, man. I will lean over too. I mean, the Commanders' defense sucks.
Yes.
Terrible.
What's our favorite phrase, Tooch?
Sucks balls.
There you go.
Yep. They gave up, they beat the Eagles back, around Christmas time. That was a good win, but I don't think Hurts played, right? Did he play in that game? That was the game he got hurt.
knocked out
He got
early.
knocked out in the game.
Hurts didn't play. I mean, he doesn't play defense.
Yep.
And that was a fluky game. They were up 22 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Blame that on Hurts not playing. They're up 22. Make a stop, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah. And it also had to do with Devontae Smith didn't catch that third down conversion right through his hands.
Like the 5. Yeah.
That was the game. They would have got a first down, and they would just run the clock out.
Yep.
So
50 points total here, Sean. Any thoughts on the total?
I like the over. I think it's, you mentioned the offense there, or the lack of defense for the Commanders. And I think that Tampa's a bend don't break kind of group that gives up points anyway. So I think this is a back and forth kind of game, but I think Tampa Bay pulls it out. I would lay the 3. Again, rookie quarterback, that kind of nonsense. I don't want to love it.
Baker Mayfield has MVP numbers this year. It's just he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen, but he's played.
He's had to put those numbers up. The thing is, he's had to put those numbers up to win because his defense has been giving up those points.
Defense lets him down.
I like Bucky Irving, the running back on the Bucks. I like Mike Evans. They have a decent tight end as well. I mean, Baker Mayfield's got some weapons. Jaden Daniels.
They're going to score here.
Yeah, they're going to score.
Tampa's stacked.
Week 1 of this year, it was a 37-20 Buccaneer win in Tampa. Week 1 doesn't mean anything. Nobody knew what the Commanders or Buccaneers were going to do this season. But everyone with the Buccaneers -3 at home and the over for all three of us. Last game, Rams fleeing L.A., getting out of town.
Is it officially moved? They moved it officially?
Supposed to be
it's not officially moved.
Has it moved? Yep, there's talk of them playing in Phoenix.
It's just a backup plan so far. Nothing's official.
Right. How lucky that really works out for the Vikings, Sean, to be playing a neutral site against Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
Who's going to show up to the game in Los Angeles when you think about it?
Yeah. Who's showing up? It doesn't make even people flying in.
Yeah.
Listen,
isn't the airport shut down right now? I think so.
I don't know. Maybe.
This is a weird. Listen,
they're going to move the game. They have to.
They have to. We'll see.
They have to move the game.
Today it's Thursday. We got to see what happens on Monday.
There's so much smoke if they move it, from all reports. The smoke is incredible.
Yeah, I don't know why they wait till the last second because you're moving the whole team. And again, this was like the Charger guys. Like these guys got other crap going on.
Yep.
Now listen, I'm locked in on the Rams. I was locked in on the Rams from the start. I was like, okay, I don't mind this matchup, and I would have liked the Rams against Detroit because they'd say, you know what, we almost beat Detroit in week 1. We beat the Vikings in week 6 or whenever they played them. I feel he's like, I'm a Super Bowl coach. I got a healthy quarterback. I got my 2 wide receivers, and I got a running back who I rested last week.
Yep.
Who I'm going to pummel you with here with Williams.
Yep.
That's my. I kind of wish they won last week because really, I guess his thought process was, well, we beat the Vikings, we almost beat the Lions, and we're home here.
Yeah.
But if you pull out that game last week, you're playing Washington as opposed to the Vikings have 14 freaking wins. This is who you're playing. Would you rather be playing Washington and Jaden Daniels or Darnold and a 14-win team? Darnold might not be Jaden Daniels, but the guys had a great year, let's be honest. I mean, they got 14 wins out of you.
Yep.
Is this a team you want to play coming off a humiliating loss where they couldn't tie their shoes?
Yeah. They got down the red zone against the Lions like 5 times. They came away with 9 points.
They threw on 8 straight passes. They didn't run the ball once from the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yep. Now, they do have a lot. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I know he's playing against he played on the Rams, didn't he, 1 year or something? For Sean McVay. He was on the Niners. Did he play on the Rams at all, too? No.
No, Baker was on the Rams when the Carolina. He went from Carolina to the Niners. He went. This guy went from
right. They both run Carolina. Okay,
Rams. Yeah.
I got you. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I mean, he's played good against some cupcakes, though. I mean, he beat look at some of the teams they beat recently. They beat the Bears, the Falcons, the Cardinals, the Titans, the Jaguars, the Colts. I mean, really, when you think about it, who the Vikings beat this year, Sean? They lost to the Rams already. They just barely got by the Seahawks.
I mean, I look at it this way for them. They lost 31-29 late to Detroit. Then you had a short week at the Rams.
Yep.
And you caught, that's that. Everything else, you won your games. But again, where's the marquee win? I mean, I guess beating Green Bay twice is sort of something.
Yep.
But you had some ugly ones in there. Like the Jacksonville game was ugly. Tennessee, Chicago, you had a couple ugly ones that you pulled out of your hat.
Yeah.
How good are they? I don't know. I think the defense is real. The defense keeps them in these games.
Yeah, but lately their defense has been giving up some points. They got 31 to the Lions. I mean, Lions will hang 31 on anybody, but Packers gave up 25. Seahawks put up 24. The Bears arguably should have had some more. They had troubles in the red zone. I
got a Super Bowl winner at home as a dog. Again, but here comes the outside world that I wasn't planning on when we move on this game on a Monday. I'm not planning on
Monday night. Might be playing in Phoenix.
On a Tuesday.
Yep. I still like the Rams.
I also got the Rams. I took the money line at plus 105 on.
It'll be a good game. I don't really. I would lean under in this game.
If you watch the Vikings Rams, it was just a bad matchup for the Vikings. They don't match up well versus.
They don't
Rams.
match up.
They're just
well
way too stacked. There's too much speed. It was one of those things. If you watched it, the Vikings just never had a chance from the get-go. There's just way too many weapons and too much speed for the Vikings to handle. And that was the biggest issue in the first matchup. Vikings, I mean, they tried their best to keep up, but the Rams were just too tough. And if the Rams are coming out firing first half, it's going to be a long game.
Which way does this line move, Sean, when they announce it in Phoenix? Rams +3?
No.
I think
Rams
the Rams
+2.
I think everybody's going to bet Los Angeles just because of what's going on. People play the stupid stuff. Oh, the Fire's in Los Angeles. They have to win this game. It's just
right now. I mean, usually teams are a field goal at home, so this is this game looks like Vikings -2 on a neutral, right?
I'm still trying to figure out how Vikings are favored here. Because they got the better record.
Because of the Fire, and I don't know.
No, that was before the Fire. That was before the Fire.
Yeah. All right, final thoughts, Vikings, Rams?
Penn State turned out to be the favorite before kickoff. How are they favored?
Is there a score here now on Penn State?
No, it's 0-0.
0-0.
Penn State punted.
Under looking good.
2 minutes in, Tooch.
Last thoughts, Vikings, Rams. I thought it started 22 minutes ago. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, it did. But, they have to do the celebration, coin
all the crap.
All the sponsors, commercials. Yeah,
Yep.
It's only 2 minutes in.
Somebody's band is playing there or something.
Of course. I still like the Rams. I think the Rams, it's just a bad matchup for the Vikings.
Yep, for the Vikings, I agree. Sean, last thoughts on this game?
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Rams +1 total. I like the under. I don't know why, but yeah.
I gotta go over here. I think it's just going to be a back and forth battle. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to go under because the Rams games their defense is really tightened up late in the season. And I think it continues.
Both teams 4-6 to the under their last 10. All right. What do you say we give away some free plays and get out of here and watch the rest of the game, or the rest of the Penn State Notre Dame game? Let's do it. Anthony's free play, Ravens -6 first half. Went over this already. Look for the Ravens to come out fast, hot versus the Steelers. Sean's free play, Ohio State first half. Team total over 14.5. He also likes Ohio State to come out firing in the first half versus Texas down in Dallas. Me, I'm keeping it simple. Buccaneers -3 versus the Commanders. And that's it. Any final thoughts, fellas? Sign up for our VIP service. Anthony, Sean, and Tooch at PoundedSports.com. Sign up for Sean at WinningFreePicks.com. Sean, you got shows coming up later tonight or off for the rest of the year?
I thought about doing a little live one with this one here. Maybe I'll come in after. I looked at tomorrow's college basketball. Not a lot. Nothing jumped out at me. I was
right.
Short schedule, 160 games, I think, on Saturday, 155.
Holy crap, I got to get going on that.
Yeah, you know what? It's like one of those. I'm like,
I
don't
like
even wanna-
Troy tonight. That was one of my favorite picks tonight. I think it was a good matchup for Troy in a short number. I think they're winning. I don't know.
I don't know what the Troy score is.
All right, fellas. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Looks like Vermont up 4 on UMass Lowell. Troy. Let me see what we got here. Troy up by 7 in Texas State. All right, fellas, for Barroom Network, Sean and Anthony, we'll talk to you guys later.
Take it easy, fellas.
All right. Bye-bye.